Alpaca Direct, I'm going to be talking about how we can use color that we have in our current wardrobe and use that to help us making decisions in our colors for our knitwear that we're going to be knitting and or crocheting. And so I wanted to talk about that today. Also, I wanted to let you know that our prize for today is going to be some Ultra Alpaca in the light colorway. And what I like about this yarn, it's 50 alpaca, 50 wool, and I am using it to make Christmas tree ornaments for next week's Facebook Live. And I thought maybe the lucky winner could make some Christmas ornaments with this yarn. So all you have to do is post your comments in the comment section and let us know what you're working on, maybe where you're from and what you're enjoying, or any comments that you have at all. If you can, push like on the like button and post photos. We love looking at photos and learning from you, of course. So anyways, so let's get right to our discussion that we're having today. And the first thought that I had is, because we're going to be making projects that we're going to have to wear with our current wardrobe, and we don't want to have to go out and go shopping, unless of course we want to for fun, because you know us ladies sometimes like to shop. Anyways, so I had some stuff that I wear. I just pulled stuff out of my closet that I enjoy wearing, and so I wanted to show you some types of colors that I have in my closet. So the first item is a lot of wine with a bit of white, and so I wear that often. And then the next item is just this little tank top. I wear it a lot in the summertime. It's nice and comfortable, and that has green and black in it. And then I have this pink top. I like pink. And so that's another color to keep in mind. So maybe when I'm choosing colors, I could use pink and gray and that little, almost like a baby tealish color. That's pretty. That color is just beautiful. And then here's a dark green colorway. I just recently purchased this one, and I like that color. It's nice and bright. And then I like a blue. I wear this one often. That is worn a lot. And then I also wanted to keep in mind, this is one of my wintertime jackets. So when I'm doing hats and gloves, I want to kind of choose something that goes with what I already have in my closet. So this is one of my jackets. So I want to keep that in mind when I'm looking for knitwear that is maybe hats or gloves. And a way that I might be able to tell what would look good with that is, I had my husband print out this nice little color card, and this is a color wheel. So I have the green colors, and across from the green is the violet color. So violet would go well with your green, and anything on either side of that color would also go well. So when I'm shopping for yarns, then I'm going to be making hats and gloves for myself, I would look here or across from here. And those would be the ones that I should use most if I want it to match the jacket that I'm wearing. Okay. When we're talking about warm colors, we're talking about colors that evoke pictures and maybe the sun or the earth and all that. And so those colors would be over on this side of the color chart, and cool colors could be over on the other side. Although there are variations of blues and that can also lean toward the warmer colors, and also reds and oranges and yellows that can lean more toward the cooler colors. So that's to keep in mind with a grain of salt. So I was thinking that if you're choosing colors and you want to go with the teals, for instance, because you have a lot of teal in your wardrobe, an easy way to do it is using the Wonderland Yarns Cheshire Cat colorways. They have the different colorways picked out for you. So if you're doing a color work project and you're not sure what colors to choose, it's always nice to choose these packages because they're pre-picked out for you. And we have several different colorways of that. And I thought these were easy ways. If you don't want to go through a lot of effort and you're shopping online and you're not sure what's going to go together, these are great ways to pick out colors and have it, and you'll know that it'll work. Okay.
Karen says hi from New Orleans.
Hi, Karen.
And Debbie Doctor says she's knitting us, I think, a shawl or something. Well, you're
Awesome. Hi, Debbie. Good morning.
got lots of people online today.
Yes. I have been working on my tabulated shawl. I had put it down for a while because I have so many other projects going on. And this was knit with one of these Wonderland yarns packages. And then I had a base garden of, this is Zen Garden Serenity 20 with a little bit of stellina in it. And I just picked it up again. It took me a little while to get back to it. And I'm going again. So I'm back at it. A couple of things that I wanted to show you about this pattern that's pretty cool. And this is called the Tabulated Shawl by Megan Jones. And I wanted to show you, you know how you all say, oh, there's so many ends to weave in? Well, on this shawl pattern, what she did is she's carrying the colorways up underneath using, so you don't have to weave in so many ends. You would only weave in the ends at the beginning of a colorway and then at the end of that colorway. And so this is the beginning of the purple, and then I'll have one more at the end. But I wanted to show you how I do that. So when I'm carrying the yarn up, she did it using knit stitches on the edge because she knows that knit stitches will roll. So it's gonna hide where you have the yarn in there. But I wanted to show you, and I'm sure I've went over this before, but just in case you guys don't remember. So I'm going to take my needle and put it in as if I'm going to do a knit stitch, and I always tell myself, do the old color, wrap it around your working needle first, then do the new color, then take the old color off, and it's actually locked into place behind. Well, let me just do a couple knit stitches and I'll show you what I mean by this. But I thought that was a pretty cool way to deal with not having so many ends. It's all locked into place right there now. And if you do that every once in a while, every other row or so, then you have carrying your yarn all the way up to the top, and that's an easy way to lock it in place without feeling like you're having to wrap the yarn around or twist it around each other. No, this is the easier way to do it, and it actually looks better. So that was one thing. Was there something else that I wanted to keep in mind? Oh, let me show you. I wanted to show you a couple more things about this tabulated shawl pattern that I learned. I always like teaching you guys as I'm going along so that you can learn from me, and since I'm always doing a lot of knitting, I wanted to show this to you. So this pattern has a bunch of different parts to it, and so on this actual chart, there, you don't see this chart does not include the 3 stitches on the edge or the garter stitch. It's back here in the other pages. So what I did to make this easier for myself is, because this chart did not include where to put increases, I wrote the increases in for myself where the increases would be. And then I also wrote in on what rows I'm going to be changing color on, because it didn't show me that either. And I would have had to flip back and forth between all these different pages to get that information. And I would easily forget where to put my increases or where to change colors. So I wrote it on this actual chart. And then one last thing that I did that was helpful to me is this stretch right here is this stretch right here, this little lace section, and then right in here it's in stockinette stitch. But that section is 17 stitches. So I wrote 17 stitches at the top. So when I'm checking to make sure that I'm doing the pattern correctly, I can count and make sure that I have that 17 stitches. So I just wanted to show that little bit to you. And Megan Jones writes beautiful patterns, so I'm really enjoying doing that pattern. Also, I had this other pattern over here that I'm working on, and this is using, one second, Jim. Let's see, this one is called Brain Freeze, and it's by Stitcher Designs. And I am using this lovely yarn, and it's called Estilo by Plymouth Yarn. You remember I told you before that I do samples for every single yarn that we bring into the shop. And maybe not all the samples are not this involved, but this was my Brain Freeze sample that I did, and it's a little bit damp because I just finished it last night. But this is an 80-20 blend of silk and merino. It's quite nice. I'm really liking it, actually. It's pretty nice. So, and this is, I made my brain freeze cowl a little bit longer because what I want to be able to do is put it up over my head as a hood if it's really cold outside. So I thought that was pretty cool. And this was a really fun pattern. And I have enough yarn left over here. What I'm going to do is check my gauge once this is dry. And I'm going to make fingerless mitts using this same pattern. And just knowing that it's like a 5 or 6 stitch repeat. So if I do multiples of 6 or what have you, then I will be able to do this same exact pattern using her chart that she has and make fingerless mitts with it. So I'm excited about that. So I'll have to let you know how that goes when I'm going along.
The question was, how does this color match with all your other colors you chose? Or does it?
This was a sample from the actual vendor, and they give me what they give me. I don't have a choice in the colors, and I put these together, and it's really funny because if you're looking at this tablecloth right here, it's similar colors to this, which is similar colors to the colors that I wear and similar colors to what I have in my home. So it actually does go very well together. And so you could wear, because this tannish color is almost like a neutral, it's kind of in the brown tones or so, you could wear it with this jacket and it would fit beautifully. I think it would be just fine. It would look really nice, especially since it has a little bit of green here and there. Just because the green is a little bit more bright does not mean that it won't look nice with this jacket. It'll actually make everything look a little more vibrant. So that's pretty cool. And then these colors right here I wanted to show you. These are for the colors that I chose for the ornaments that I'm going to be doing for my house. But we're going to be doing it for next week. We're going to be talking about Christmas in July, and so I'm doing knitting projects for that right now. And here are the couple of the projects that I've knit up. And one of these was these little stockings are a little pattern that I want to write up for you. And it is a start at the toe, cast on 4 stitches using Judy's Magic Cast On, and then doing the afterthought heel. And it was super easy pattern. I'd like to write it up because I think you would enjoy it. And then this was another pattern, and I'll be talking more about this next week, so I'll bring this up for next week for you.
Can you hold it up there?
Suffice to say, it's a little tiny ornament, and it's a stocking hat. So I thought it was cute because it's, you know, a little bit of color work in there. It's really fun. Anyways, I think you guys will enjoy that next week. And then also, the winner from this last week won Flexi Flips. And these are the new product from Skacel, and you kind of use them in place of double point needles. And the person who won this week was called Leslie Coco, Kokko. So if you can get in contact with us and let us know what your address is, we can send it out to you, and congratulations. You get to try out these wonderful Flexi Flips.
Flexi tips.
They just call them Flexi Flips.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And they're kind of cool because they have a sharp point on one edge and then the Addy Turbo on the other edge. If you're used to Skacel needles, you'll know what I mean by that, and you'll really enjoy them. So, also, I wanted to...
There's a question, what are those for again?
These are the prize for this last week, and the person who won them, they entered comments in the comment section, and they tell us what they're working on, and they're entered to win a prize every week. And this week we have the Ultra Alpaca Light that is the prize, and you enter comments in the comment section, push like, share it with others, and we would greatly appreciate that. And this is so that you can make your own set of ornaments. I really like these colors, and I thought you might enjoy them too. So that is the prize for this week. And I wanted to mention a couple of yarns, and a couple of them are this Eco Alpaca. So I'm looking at yarns that maybe, I don't know if you could use them for ornaments or you can use them for Christmas gifts or what have you. This is a new product from Baracco. It's called Ultra Alpaca Eco. It's all undyed fiber, and it's quite lovely. And it's 50% alpaca, 50% wool. And so it's plenty, it's soft. It's really nice. I like it. And then if you're doing knitted projects, we have some Lamb's Pride, and we have it in worsted and in bulky. And this makes great ornaments, if you wanted to use those larger stockings, you know, the Christmas stockings that you hang above the fireplace with the person's name on them, those make great gifts, and you can use these yarns to do that. So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to show you a couple of things, but so we're looking at our color wheel, and we're looking at cool and warm colors, and we're also, years ago I had my colors done, and I'm called a summer, so these are all summertime colors. And it's funny because I don't usually bring this with me when I go shopping, and I've had this since I was a teenager, but I think it's interesting how I gravitate towards the colors that were chosen for me, and I just naturally gravitate toward what looks good, or I don't know what it is. Anyways, so, and I also wanted to bring up this Artful Color Knits. This one is done by Laura Bryant. I took a class from her, and she is wonderful with colors. She's actually one of the first people that ever came up with hand-painted yarns. And what we're going to be doing in just a second here is we're going to be looking at the weight of colors. So we're going to be going from lighter and light color weights to darker color weights and putting some yarn in order. And then what you can do once you have that yarn in order, I'll show you how you can use that to help you choose colors that will go well together. So I'm going to take this off the table for a second, and I have a pile of yarn in a basket right here. Oop. Hopefully it won't get stuck on those pins. Maybe I will turn that so it doesn't get stuck up. All right, so I have a basket of yarn, and you can pretend this is your stash that you have at home, okay? And what you want to start doing is just start putting it in order from light to darker. So you pick the darker ones and put them up, okay? And then you start working your way backwards. And you get better and better at this over time. So, we just want those darker ones down here and put those, maybe that one goes that way. And that one's quite dark. All right. And put that down there. This can go right here. Maybe like that. And where are you gonna go? You can go in here. All right, so it would look something like this when you take your yarn and you put it in order. And these neutrals you can add to, when you're picking out colors, you can add a neutral to one of these in any one of these colors and it would look fine. But the theory is that when you have these colors all in order, you should be able to go about 10% on either side. So you should be able to pick one here or pick one here and have them go well together. So that's how this can help you, if you can orient your yarn. So these colors would look good together, these would look good, these would all look fine together, and then so on and so forth. So that's what she is talking about, Laura Bryant is talking about when she's talking about the weight of your color. So when you're organizing your yarns, you could just think about maybe orienting them according to color and not just weight, so that when you're going through your stash and you're looking for yarns that you can use for a project, you can line them up like this and then figure out which ones will go together, because they don't have to be in the same color family. They just, if they're the same intensity of color like these, then they go well together. So this is the lighter, but they're pretty close in intensity to each other. And these, if you look at these are the same thing, okay? So you can take your stash that you have at home, organize it according to color, and it'll help you try and figure out what colors will look better together. And I would venture to say that when you're going shopping for yarns, make sure that you're shopping for yarns that you can use, that you'll actually be able to wear. I mean, it's wonderful to be able to buy yarn that looks lovely, but if it doesn't go with anything, how often are you going to wear it? Maybe you can use it as an opportunity to buy a new outfit. I'm not sure, but it's definitely something to think about.
Oh, there's a question. Did you make your top, and what did you use? She likes the top you're wearing.
Oh, thank you. Are you kidding? No. Okay, so a lot of stuff that I have in my closet is stuff that I've had there for like 20 years. And this is one of those older tops. I don't tend to grow out of anything that I have, so I've had it pretty much my whole life. And so I kind of have these certain tops and things that I'm fond of, and I don't get rid of, and I don't know, maybe they go in and out of style, I'm not sure. I'm not one of those that keeps really up on current styles, but I do like certain colors, and so I will keep some of my clothing that I have for quite a while. So anyway, that's what it's from. It's been in my closet for years and years. Can't even remember when I bought it, but thank you. Thanks for that. I'm trying to look here and see if there was anything else. Also, if you look at your color wheel, just make sure that if you wanted a pop of color, you could choose like a couple colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel and then go across for a pop of color. So if I was going to wear my jacket, which is a green color, and I wanted to choose a color that is complementary, that would look beautiful with it, go across and get either the wine color or the red or a purple or something like that, and it would look quite lovely. So you can print these out on your own computer if you have a color printer, and that's what my husband did for me, and I thought it was pretty cool. I like that. So like I said, next week we are going to be talking about knitting for Christmas in July. And so I'll be talking about a few ideas that we have for Christmas gifts, and maybe how you can decide if you're choosing yarns for your loved ones, how you might go about doing that, and considerations that you might want to not have thought of that might help you along as you're going about your knitwear and crochet wear projects. I want to make sure that you're enjoying your knitwear projects that you're wearing, and the best way to do that is have projects that actually match what you have in your closet. So I venture to challenging all of you out there to look in your closet, see if you can find what colors you like most, and choose knitwear, choose yarns that will complement the colors that you already have in your closet. So I hope you have a great week. I will see you this next Tuesday is On the Road. We'll be talking about Christmas in July and our knitwear projects for our Christmas trees as well as for our loved ones. So I hope you have a great week, and I will see you then.